Well, hello and welcome again to another segment of the A New Day Show. We're going to be talking about goal setting. And it's interesting because this material I'm using, I was cleaning out my garage and found in my papers from a conference I had done when I was a Mary Kay director. Back in 1998, June of 1998, I did this. And as I look it over, there's still so much relevant information here. So I decided that I am going to share it with you. So get your pens and paper. We grow to the statue of our dreams. So in other words, if we have dreams and if we have vision, the next thing we're going to think about, what's the mission that goes along with it? Why do we have those? So we are going to grow and we are going to rise. We are going to raise to the statue of our dream. We grow to the statue of our dreams. Life itself is a series of goals, whether you call them that or not. It's a series of goals. The first step towards becoming, doing, and having is to set definite, attainable, and positive written goals. Some of us write them down in text and verbiage. Others of us, we use a vision board with pictures. But whatever it is, some of us just do a journal. Do what works for you, all right? The important thing is that you are living your dreams and not somebody else's. The goals that you are setting, they are yours and not somebody else's. Goals are a blueprint for the future. You know, they say it is better to be prepared, have a plan, so when something turns up, you're ready, than to have an opportunity that is ready and it turns up and you are not ready. B, goal is a roadmap to get you from where you are to where you want to go. Just like you plan your vacation, you're going to go on a cruise. The first thing you want to ask the cruise consultant, where am I sailing from? How many days I'm at sea? How many days I'm at land? It's the same thing with your goals. It's the roadmap that gets you from where you are to where you want to go. And C, dreams in which structures has been added and wishes made firmly by commitment. So once you have that plan done, you commit to it, you write it, you know, you say, here, this is what I need to do. Goals, here are some goal setting guidelines. In order to become a whole, complete person whose full potential is realized, it is necessary to set and achieve goals in each area of our lives. By categorizing our goals, we are not attempting to separate them, but rather to connect goals to connect goals in a harmonious, supportive network so that all our goals become interrelated and are able to work together. There are 12 essential categories that our goals can be defined by, and these categories will certainly define how you live your life. or the career. The person you want to be is one. The things you want to do is another. The things you want to have, when setting goals, change the you to I. So in other words, if you're talking to your children or your spouse, you would say you. But when you're doing it for yourself, you switch around the you and you say I. So all that I've just read, you would say the things that I want to be, the things that I want to do, and the things that I want to have. It's very important to remember that. So the first area I want us to look at is career. Include all the desires, the dreams of your chosen pursuit in your life's work. So whatever it is you're doing, are you a plumber? Think about, do you just want to go and call? Do you want to work for an apartment building? Or you want to work for another plumber? Or you want to have your own business? Define what it is that you want and make it happen for you. The next section we want to look at is financial. And I know there are a lot of us who have struggled with that for different reasons. There's no one that's isolated. And I know especially as parents, we do not start our children off early enough in that financial area. I know growing up as a child, I was not included in the money conversation with my parents. That was categorized as adult conversation. But the reason why our children is so lack of information around finance is because we exclude them. So we can start around now and include them in these conversations. So let's look at financial. Include goals such as giving yourself a raise in your business. A lot of us, especially as entrepreneurs, we do not pay ourselves a salary. We run, we buy gas, we buy food, we do this, but we are not writing ourselves a paycheck, and that is very important. We ought to also strive to get out of debt. We need to set basic foundation for retirement. Whether or not you're planning on retire, because if you are an entrepreneur or a small business person who is really doing what you were called to do, you probably scale back, but you won't retire, So you ought to set that plan in motion for when you scale back. The days that you're not going into the office, you're not seeing clients, you can use those days to invest in yourself because you have set up a plan that will allow you to do that. Save money effectively for, cruises, tours, whatever your family like to do. I love cruises. Every opportunity I get, I'll go on one because it's an all-day party. You get up, you dress from breakfast down until you go to bed. I just enjoy cruises, and everything is on that ship. You don't know whether it's night or day. So I'm here telling you, if you have never gone on a cruise, you ought to take the opportunity to do that. Next, let's look at spirituality. That's a goal that we all need to set as well. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your spiritual health. Look into that. What does that mean for you? Whether you ever set foot in a church or not, you ought to have a spiritual life. Setting time aside to converse with whom your supreme being is. Prayer time, meditation, quiet time, journaling. Those are practices of special spiritual life. So what it means for you, Yes, there are some of us who go to churches and all of that and become part of a congregation. But if you have not been involved in that, you can still have a spiritual life. Tithing is another part of our spiritual life. If that's what you believe in and you believe in practicing that, that you ought to get into the habit of doing. Learn to practice spiritual principles in all of your affairs. Remember, God first, family second, career third. God first, family second, career third. So remember, put things in priority order, and you will not be walking around stressing yourself and dragging your hair out. Physical covers eating right with more selective, losing or gaining weight. There's some who want to lose weight, some who is underweight. You ought to know the right foods to eat, what nutritional practices you need to have in place to accomplish those things. You need to improve your physical appearance by means of a makeover, you know. You don't have to go into expensive stylists. If you're shopping at a thrift shop, make sure whatever you're putting on enhances your appearance. There's a quote I saw a couple days ago that said, of all the things you wear, your appearance is the one that stands out most. So always remember, you do not get a second chance to make a first impression. So what happened? If wherever you're shopping, make sure you get the quality and that it enhances who you are and what you look like. So your wardrobe is very important. Learn how to wear for those who are in makeup, learn how to wear that properly. Learn how to do it. You don't want to look like a clown, so learn how to do that properly. Get involved in a fitness program. You can walk or jog or walk bike riding. You don't have to go to a gym. However, there are lots of gym now, and some places are 24-hour gym that's open, so everybody can afford to go. There are some places that's charging $20-something a month. I've seen coupon in the newspaper. I don't know what that is, but find out what works for you. I know my girlfriend and I, we go walking together. And in the summer, I went in Harbrook Park and I learned to ride a bicycle. Yes, at 60-something, I learned to ride a bicycle. I did not ride a bicycle when I was a child because I was too poor to have a bicycle. So now I have a bicycle and I learned to ride. So what it is that works for you, you get into the habit of doing that. The next one we want to look at is mental. Mental goals such as learning new skills or remembering the names of people. You know, there are some people, for the life of them, they cannot remember somebody's name. Now, one of the tricks in doing that, when you meet a person, you connect their name with something in your life. And the minute you see them again, you think back. Maybe it's a pen, it's a color, whatever it is. And you say, oh, hi, Daphne, how are you? So you don't have to tell the person, oh, I don't remember your name or anything like that. So just get into the practice of doing that. Eliminate negative mental attitudes. Take additional classes or courses that could be useful for you in advancing yourself. It is never too late to go back to school. Especially those people who have computer now, you can be going to school any hour of the night because you can go online. So never give up on yourself. Keep your mind active and stimulated always. Family, remember I mentioned about God first, family second, career third. So now we are going to look at the areas of our family. Develop a good relationship with your children, your brothers, sister, and your parents. Improve communication with everyone in your family. Educate your children and involve each member of the family in your achievement in whatever you do. So in other words, whatever you're doing, when you go home, around the dinner table, have everybody share about how their day was. Mommy, daddy, children, talk about school. Talk about the thing, not to gossip about what's happening, but just to share. This way people get back into communication and family dialogue. Personal relationships. Develop an intimate and meaningful relationship with a member of the opposite sex. And whatever your choice is, I will say that. For me, it's the opposite sex. But however, you need to have an intimate relationship. In other words, it's providing balance in your life. Develop better relationship with your spouse for those of you who have a significant other. If a relationship is not working and you have gotten all the help that you can and a divorce is needed, do it respectfully so that you can still be respectful to each other. Acquire new friends. Release old relationships. You know, people come in our life for a time and a season, and we all need to know when that season has ended. There are a lot of people who are holding on to dead relationships. So if it is finished, let it go and move on. Things you really want to do. Do you want to write a book? Do you want to climb a mountain? Do you want to go skydiving? Do you want to go on a world tour? Do you want to go deep sea fishing? What is it you want to do? Just set your goals and do it. Because you know something? You are the only person that is standing in your way. So get busy and do the things you want to do. That's come under the things that you really want to do. What do you want to have? Do you want to have a dream house, new furniture, new car? Own a chain of hotel or restaurants? What is it? Go ahead, set your goals and get it done. Miscellaneous. Anything that does not fit in the above listed category. That simply means that you have something that's intimate and dear and close to your heart. You put it on the there and you set it on your goal list to do it or get it done. Things you want to be. In this category, describe the total concept of the kind of person you want to be. When you have described the new you, use positive words and pictures to form this person. If you're working with a vision board or something, you want to use the picture to do that. And as you do that, you ask, who am I and what do I want? It's very, very important. Now, I want to go on to, it is important to keep reading. You know, I was on a webinar yesterday and I heard a friend of mine saying that poor people have big television and the rich people has a big library. And that is powerful. So I'm sharing that to ask you, when was the last time that you read something? When? It is very, very important to read every day. Read motivational books. And, you know, some of my all-time favorites are these three books here. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, that's by Shad Hemstetter. The Power of Positive Thinking, Norman Vincent Peale. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Those are all-time classic. You can get those for a nickel now wherever you go. But they are easy read and they can really help you to stimulate your mind. Reading motivational books is very important. You can even go to the library and borrow the books, but it's important to read. It is so important to read. And you will find out that when you put these practices into place, you will be experiencing an abundant life. I want to read for you attitude. Affirm this 3 times a day, meaning you repeat it to yourself 3 times a day. My attitude in life depends on the attitude I develop and portray. So again, my attitude in life depends on the attitude I develop and portray. To maintain a positive attitude, I must first practice all of the following. Learn to love myself first. Then naturally, I will be able to love all people unconditionally. Forgiveness. Forgive myself first, and then I will be able to forgive others. Do not blame or walk around with guilt, because that's a burden in itself. It causes stress and it causes depression. So do not walk around with any guilt and any unforgiveness. Sharing. Share not only material things, but service in your community to the elderly, disabled, and young adults. First and foremost, always share your excitement about your career and whatever vocation that you may be involved in. Continuous positive daily affirmation is important in our lives. The I cans, the I ams, and the I will statements make yourself what you want and need to be. So in other words, I know that a lot of people go around and they are blaming society for what is happening in their lives. However, we need to look on the inside of us. What are we putting out? It's not their responsibility. It's our responsibility to be in charge of us. So we need to focus on what we are putting out, because what we are putting out is most certainly what we are attracting. You can always, you are the only one who can create and mold for your life's history. The legacy you want in your life, you got to create that legacy. Not your spouse, not your society, not your government, you. You can always modify and alter and change until it is perfect for you and you are satisfied with it. Avoid practical malice, envy, ill feeling toward anyone. Those are killers. Here's an affirmation for feelings. Include goals which reflect positive attitudes and emotional changes, such as experiencing joy each day, no matter what is happening, feeling good, to be alert, excited, awake, alive, enthusiastic, surrendering, resentment, irritability, anger, and blame or guilt. To use personal inventory. The progress you will make with your feelings will determine your success in all other categories. Tools to accomplish successful goals. A plan of action, realize your benefits, possible obstacles that will prevent you or hinder you from accomplishing those goals. You need to identify those. Action that you need to take immediately. And above all things, do not procrastinate. You got to take action right away. Forgiveness. I forgive you for not being the way I wanted you to be. I forgive you and set you free. Forgiveness means giving up, letting go. It has nothing to do with condoning the behavior. We do not have to know how to forgive. All we need is a willingness to forgive. When we really love and accept and approve of ourselves exactly as we are, then everything in life works lovingly and approving of ourselves, creating a space of safety, trusting and deserving and accepting all will create. Organization in our mind creates a more loving relationship in our lives. People who spend years fighting at and are still overweight blame all their problems on being overweight. It is usually fear of a need for protection. When we begin to love and approve of ourselves, then everything in our lives will be in acceptance. Everything will align up. Everything will come in alignment. But it starts with you. You hold the control button. You got to push that button. Remember, you are only responsible for you. You cannot change anybody else, but you'll find out that when you change you from the inside out, everybody else around you is going to be looking good. I pray and hope that these few steps has helped you. So again, I thank you for watching. Bye. I see you then.